watching this video, you're probably planning your own wedding or one for someone you love. Congratulations! I hope this is an exciting time for you in your life. 3 years ago, I got married for the second time, and it was definitely an exciting time for me as well. I wanted to share with you some of the things that I did for my wedding and hopefully inspire you to do things for your own wedding. So here are some of the things that I created for my wedding, and I hope you enjoy watching this video. One thing you can do is purchase inexpensive picture frames, paint them the color of your wedding colors, and then buy some of these inexpensive pins online and just take the backs off of them and hot glue them to the frame. This is a picture of my handsome husband. I did repurpose all the frames and have them in my house now, just with different pictures. This is an engagement picture that we took of him. So that was a quick and easy way to do a frame. This is a little more elaborate. This is one of our engagement pictures, and I took another inexpensive frame. You want to have something with a wide border, and I bought a lot of these pins and things online. You also, if you have a lot of time, send your friends out to garage sales and see if they can find things in your wedding color. Pins and different things, even a pearl necklace, like a fake pearl necklace that you could take apart. You can glue the pearls on and end up with a really nice picture frame that you can then use in your home, as I have this one. I put all that work into it. I wasn't going to not use it in my home. I had it setting out at the wedding reception, and it just was a nice addition for the tables, and it really wasn't that expensive, especially if you have people who can, like I said, go out and find things at garage sales for you. You also can order these pins online really cheaply. As I'm sure you have, I looked online at a lot of different bouquets. One that I really loved was the bouquet that was made with pins. So I did make one of my own, and I bought a lot of pins again online really cheaply. I'm going to find the video that I looked at to show me how to do this that was on YouTube, and I'll put it in the comments section if you're interested in making one of these bouquets with all the pins and things. There's a really wonderful lady online who does a video, and that's how I learned how to do it. But basically, you take the pins, you take one pin, you put a long wire through it, bend it in half. This will sound really weird, but you put the ends in a drill, a hand drill, turn it on, I think in reverse, and then it twists that wire for you all the way up so that you have a tight stem with your pin. Then you can stick it in. I have 3 white hydrangeas in here, silk flowers, and you stick them in around on the hydrangeas. And you tape it to the bottom as you go. Now, underneath here, I wrapped in ribbon. This is one of those little cones that you can get at craft stores for bouquets. And I just wrapped it in purple ribbon and hot glued it as I went. And then I put the flowers in there and then stuck the pins in, taped them as I went, and then when I was all finished, you tape the whole thing up and you put your ribbons around the base. So you can really be very creative with this. I, at Walmart, got some cheap little necklaces. This one says I do, and it has a little wedding ring. I don't know if you can see that. It has a little wedding ring on there. And this says Happily Ever After. And I bought the charm at Michael's and then just put it on a chain and hot glued these in there. And then a little bit of bling just so that, it's our special day. We're the bride. We need some bling. So that's on there. Then I have ribbons that say We've Tied the Knot, that I tied under there, and some little fake pearls just to kind of hide some of that hot glue that I have around the bottom there. But that was essentially it. I've got our initials, D for David, my husband, and L for me, and then I have a little crown on here somewhere because, of course, I was the queen that day, and it's very heavy. So I used this during our ceremony, but then I did want to have it at the reception as a table decoration. I took a vase that I got very inexpensively, and I put a bow on it that I made out of ribbon and put a little rose from Michael's in the middle of it there. And that way I could set this on the table at my reception. And it's very heavy. You'll find that these bouquets are very heavy because of all the bling and all the pins and everything. So you'll want something that you can set it out on the table with. My bridesmaid had one that was green. She's Irish. So I put, clover on hers and things like that that were related to her heritage. and her initials. So that was really a lot of fun to make this. And again, like I said, I'll put a link to the woman who I learned how to do it from. I'll put a link to her YouTube video in the comments. Before I started planning my wedding, I had purchased an antique dress form at a garage sale for $7, not really knowing what I was going to do with it, but I set it aside, and then decided that I would make one of those dress forms that had flowers on it for my wedding reception. I started out by making a green skirt out of fabric and sewing it around the dress form, and then putting chicken wire around it. That way, if any of the flowers weren't totally covering everything, green would mostly show through. I also made a white top, and then, as you can see, I started putting the white petals, just silk flower petals, on that top portion. After that, I wired the flowers onto the bottom portion. Then, when I got up toward the waist, I put ferns around it horizontally and hot glued those in place. And then I really just figured this out as I went. I decided I needed some kind of a thing around the middle that sort of highlighted the top, separating from the bottom. So I put those purple flowers there and then added a bow just to finish it all off. Then I placed a purple ribbon at the top with a really pretty pin and attached some silk foliage to that, just to kind of finish the top part off. I like the industrial look, so I left the top part of the metalwork showing on the piece. It was a really nice piece to have at our wedding reception, and a lot of people took pictures around it with us. And it was just a lot of fun. We have it in our dining room now in the corner, and it's fun to see it every day and remember those memories of our wedding reception. I knew I wanted some tall centerpieces for our tables at the reception, so I bought some clear glass vases, and then I bought scrapbook paper and put it inside to make it look like the vases were silver. After that, I made some ribbon flowers and attached those to the center of each vase, put some hydrangeas in there with some purple flowers at the top, as well as some white branches that had sparkly glitter on them. They turned out really nicely and look great on the tables. And today I have some of the flowers and things in my home, so I was able to reuse some of that, which was really fun. I also made corsages and boutonnieres. I learned how to do that by watching YouTube videos. There's some really great ones out there, and I'll try to find the one that I watched and post that link in the comments. Another thing that I did was to cut out some heart shapes from scrapbook paper, and we had a little frame there that asked people if they wanted to leave us some wishes for our marriage. They could write it on there and then put it in a small white bird cage that I had decorated, and it was kind of fun. We have those today, and we can keep them and look back on those as part of our wedding day. I hope you have a lot of fun creating things for your special day.